So EA is in the interactive media space, as we call it. We focus on video games across all platforms, console, mobile, and PC. We have around 8,000 employees across the globe, essentially, and about £2.5 billion of revenues. I think it's essential, especially in the mobile gaming space, for Scottish companies to really think globally. The nature of that market, if you think about the App Store for Apple and Google, you're really reaching a global audience instantly, which is in some ways a great thing and a great opportunity, but you're also competing globally with companies in Finland, in the US, in Russia, essentially everywhere. So I think in order to stay really current on best practices and methodologies in the mobile space in particular, you have to be at places like GDC and meeting with the best of the best and learning from them. The question of geography, especially in mobile gaming, really isn't the most important concern for game companies today. It's based on the global nature of the platforms they're publishing to. The most important decisions, I think, for Scottish companies in looking externally really are what genres am I going to focus on, what business model, what game design decisions am I going to make to compete against this global market. There's the benefit and the cost of this global nature is that it's incredibly competitive. So focus is really important. I think there's one thing I would point to that I have observed to some degree with Scottish companies, and I think it's somewhat cultural, which is a risk aversion. Trying to hedge your bets with making a puzzle game, a casual game, a shooter, and a mid-core game means you're going to be mediocre at everything, and you really have to be willing to take a risk and to focus on the type of genre that you have passion around and build against that and be the best at it. A lot of companies that I meet in Scotland are doing work for hire or trying to spread their bets, and you don't see many companies in places like Finland doing that, and they've really succeeded with a riskier approach. I'd love to see Scottish companies taking that approach too. I'd point to three trends. The first is, you've probably heard about the death of the console for the last 10 years, but I think we're seeing now with Xbox One and the PS4 that there's a strong, robust future for the console business. The second is the increasing power of the mobile platform devices, and I think that's driving a huge increase in the production quality of those games. And then the third thing, which is kind of the hot topic at GDC this year, is virtual reality, and it's exciting to see the developments there. A couple of things that I'm watching to see how they develop. Number one is to what extent are brands and franchises going to be important in the mobile space? We really haven't seen the development of major brands and franchises at this stage, and some believe that won't happen. So I'm interested to see how that develops over time. The second is the globalization of the market. Are we going to see essentially a level playing field between China, Korea, Japan, and what we call the Western markets? At the moment, they're quite bifurcated. There's what we call the Asian markets and the Western markets in mobile. Both sides are trying to go the other way. It's going to be interesting to see whether we end up with a global market for mobile games, or what we essentially have now, which is several regional markets.